Hi, darling. This video is for you if you're somebody who is conscious, you're spiritual, but you still have this drive and ambition, and you have a bit of a type A personality, but you also understand the esoteric concepts of this world that we're in. You're not somebody who is consuming for the sake of consuming, but you also understand the power that money holds and why you absolutely need money to be able to create and also to build impact in this lifetime. Listen, if this interests you, this is for someone like me, I think, and I've been thinking about this for a few days now because I find that some of my attributes are very contradictory to one another. I'm an entrepreneur, but I still do creative stuff, but I'm also someone who likes to have fun, but I also love reading books. And these are just, I would say these are more personality traits than anything else. Where this is important is that, like, I've learned these concepts and I think they may help somebody here, because the last thing you want to have happen in your life is to have ambition die. You know you can come up with great ideas, but then you plateau because some part of your brain is thinking about the mechanics of it and how something's going to look versus thinking about the impact it's going to create. Here's one element that is so important when you are both ambitious and spiritual as an individual. And again, I want to be very careful. I'm not going to conflate ambition with greed. We're not talking about greed. You're somebody who's already awakened, and you are somebody that still wants to create, that still wants to, you have that hunger and that drive to build. One of the most important things you will do is you have to take that ambition and you have to make it devotion. You turn it into devotion. And I'm not talking about biblical devotion. If that works for you, please do it. Take what resonates and leave the rest, as I always say. But that ambition, when it becomes devotion, devotion to humanity, devotion to a cause, devotion to seeing your product, your service, your heart, your ideas serve others, make their lives better, make, who knows, some of the things that you might be doing could also add joy into people's world. You might be a fantastic storyteller, and there's that part of you that you're not letting the world see. Those things need to be brought to life. So for my friends here who are both, sort of like type A, but also very meta, this is for you. This is for you so that you don't abandon that fire that you have. You don't abandon aspects of you that need to live and breathe, that need to be seen by the world. It's deserved, you're deserving of that visibility. Please don't shy away from it, is where I'm going with it, actually. And this is coming straight from the heart. So if you're struggling, here's how I would do things, because I don't like doing any of these videos or sharing my thoughts without giving you something that you can actually hang your hat on. I'm at the library, and it's like a very, very breezy sort of day. And I found a space where I thought no one was going to be here. I don't want to interrupt other people's reading piece, but I'm outdoors and you're allowed to speak here. I don't know why to set that up so much. Anyway, for what it's worth, here's what you need to do. One, you will not make your ambition, especially if you're a woman, okay? You're a woman who is driven. Please do not let anyone shame you for your drive, for your instincts, for your ability to be able to be creative, but also street smart and also business savvy. Don't let anyone guilt you, shame you, make you feel crappy about having these very polar opposites exist within you. Please don't do that. As part of that process, I also want to make sure you don't shame yourself, because sometimes we don't have people judge us as harshly as we do ourselves. We are absolutely our own worst critic. And the more you can step out of your way and the less you can care about how something lands, as long as you do it compassionately, you do it in a civil sort of fashion, the rest is none of your business. So one, please remove that blame game and don't feel odd about the way you feel, and when you have different parts of you that are coexisting and cohabiting. The second part, which is one of the most important parts that I covered, was that you turn that ambition into devotion. And devotion is really sitting with yourself at a peaceful level, sitting with yourself without, trying to reach for something, trying to become something. You just are. And what moves through you, and you accept it for what it is. Again, sort of like a dotted line to what I've also mentioned earlier. So that ambition then becomes devotion because you already have the drive, right? Take that at face value. And every time you get to a point where you're feeling like, oh, look at me, going back into this world of materialism, etc., I want nothing to do with it. That's when you have to remind yourself that money does matter, wealth does matter. Impact that you want to create comes from that wealth and that, liquid cash, right? That you can put into causes that you care about and to serve people that resonate with your idea, your dreams, your vision, and are thankful to you eventually for doing what you did. But of course, you're not waiting for that applause. You don't care for that applause. You're just doing it because you're doing it, right? And last but not the least, that whole idea of like, your spirituality feeding your other sides, which may not be, may not be allowed to coexist. What you need to understand is that you can be right and you can be rich. You can be spiritual and you can be rich. You can be, anything, and you can be the opposite of that thing too at the same time. So duality does exist in people's worlds, especially when you're someone extremely ambitious. And I think it's really powerful to be around such people. I was just in a meeting this morning, which is why I've schlepped into Austin super early in the morning. It's not that time now. I got here by like 7. To meet two people because they're entrepreneurs, they're in a very interesting space and they're helping others build. And I was like, God, I want to see these people. And if that means I have to, get myself here by 7, I will. Sounds not early in many worlds. But anyway, so like when you meet people like that, and those are the people I met today morning, and I was watching them because I like observing people. I like seeing what drives and moves people forward, yeah? I observed in both of them. One was much, much, much older than me, and he had, but like to see someone like in their 70s have the drive is crazy. And I was inspired by it, to be honest. He doesn't, and he was not very pedantic about it, like, oh, life goes on and I have these other things I want to create. He could have like just sat it out. But for his personality type, I can see him not being very comfortable just sitting it out. So you have to know who you are. You have to accept those variables within you. And you have to also accept the absolutes within you, which means that those absolutes can be very contradictory to somebody on the outside, but they're natural to you. So please don't ever, ever give away your ambition because you're now on a spiritual path. You need both. And if you really are somebody who is driven to connect with life at a very visceral level and are still wanting to learn and grow, you can't put your spirituality aside. You can absolutely not put your drive aside, your ambition aside. Both of those things feed you as a human being. And may you shine. May you understand the power it is to be you, and may you understand that it is quite all right to have these two aspects of who you are. Support you, honor you, and allow you to create more magnanimously and also with a touch of magic. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I've just started sharing my thoughts on YouTube. I hope you're enjoying them. Well, not enjoying. I hope like for me, like the most important thing with these videos is I hope you feel seen and maybe understood, and you don't feel that alone in your journey. Because God darn, I know what it feels like to be alone and to be different. All right, ambition with spirituality is a killer combo. Embrace it. Bye.